Okay, welcome you guys back for round 2. Now in this video, we're going to explore some beautiful, glistening, glowing, raving, lauding 5-star reviews for the absolute crap I read in 2020. What is up, you guys? It's me, your girl, your Casey. How you doing? So, to sleep in a sea of stars, my old nemesis, the estranged younger brother to this beautiful thing known as Eldest, the greatest book of all time. Go read it. Hello, baby. How you doing? What's your rating? 3.99. It's still under 4. I gave y'all a whole year to give Eldest 5 stars, and y'all haven't. You had one job. Okay, anyways, To Sleep in a Sea of Stars, Christopher Paolini, 3.88. I gave it a 2. I think that extra star was just nostalgia. Under My Shelves, Aliens, Bad Point of Views, DNF, Meh, My Brain Hurts, Red, Sci-Fi, Unlikable Protagonist, Zzz. Okay, let's see who's crazy enough to actually like this thing. You guys want to read some funny comments? Go watch the review I made for that book on my channel and see all the comments. You're like, oh my gosh, this lady, so wrong. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I have a pause button for her. I'm sorry for the people in real life who don't. Y'all make me laugh. Ew, disgusting. Not you, hun, I love you, but this. Literally all the energy just drained out of my body. I don't want to read this. Okay, basic summary. Our main character, Kira, she's on another planet. She spends her life traveling to the edges of the known universe to categorize and learn from the microbes and other creatures. Her latest mission is pretty routine, to go to an uncolonized planet and take notes. Boom, boom, done. That's true. The book literally starts with them wrapping up that mission. But then she stumbles upon an ancient alien relic. It's amazing. It's life-changing. It's coming alive. What? Joy turns to terror as the alien relic turns out to be far more than she bargained for. And that's even before the war breaks out. Okay, yeah, you think that sounds kind of cool, because it does. But no. No. Kira is the worst female protagonist ever. She's ugh. And this is from the same author who wrote Nasueda, who is literally my favorite female character ever. In the Inheritance cycle, far superior series, you should go read it, especially Eldest, the second book in the series, which happens to be the greatest book of all time. Yeah. I loved delving into this world and cannot wait for Paolini's next book. It wasn't like I was delving into the world, because it wasn't just the world, it was space, so it's a whole universe. It's more like everything about the world was compacted into a meteorite and just slammed into your face. Oh, was that it? Okay. There are some aspects I didn't love. There are some areas where it dragged a bit for me. For me, the main thing about this book was like the characters. They were all awful. It did that thing where like we're introduced to a big group of people and they're like our new squad or new friends. But instead of like introducing us to them one at a time, they're all in this big group, and so we're just thrown in with them, and we just get like random personality traits from them because they're all always usually on the same page, so they're all clogging each other's screen time. It is absolutely a 5-star book. I cannot stop thinking about it. Took 9 years to perfect. In the beginning, more stuff, story stuff. I love first contact stories. Honestly, they're not my favorite. I'm really new to sci-fi. He comes in contact with the alien. Ugh, this word. Lovable. The perfect ragtag group of lovable rebels. No. It's more like this ragtag group was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so quirky. Everybody get me attention. And they honestly talked like 16-year-olds, and everybody's like a hardened army veteran, at least in their late 20s. I was engaged throughout my entire time reading this. The only time I was engaged was chapter 4, when the bloodshed started happening. That little time afterwards when they started experimenting on the alien, that's the only time when I was like, okay, I like this. And I know it sounds kind of boring, but like scenes where our characters imprisoned, like they're honestly my favorite. Like they're not doing anything. They're literally stuck in a cell. Nothing happening there. But a lot is happening up here, and I really like that. Because in that solitude they're usually forced into, and under like a lot of pressure, if they're being tortured too or experimented on, you start to like have some things going on up here, and it's really juicy. If you do not normally enjoy science fiction, you may not like this. I don't hate science fiction. You will eat this up if you love science fiction. Nah, go read Skyward. My favorite being a timeline of events that led up to the state of the world within this story. What happened in this story? I can't even remember. Blah, 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 audiobook, haven't read that, whoever Jennifer Hill is, highly recommend. No, No. Non-recommend. Plot-driven. Ha, no. It was plot stalling because the characters were so stupid. Space dragons or space squids. I would rather have space dragons any day. What are you doing, Bill Nye? No, no. Bill Nye the Science Guy, don't give your support for this book. No. Super epic space opera. If I have any complaints or suggestions, here are a couple. The book probably could have been broken up into 2 or 3 smaller books. You know, I honestly got only like 33% into the book. No, you couldn't have broken that 33% into a whole nother book. It would have been very boring. Epic world building. I don't remember like a shred of world building. I know there's like your typical, what's it called? Like the one space government in charge of everything, basically. A federation of sorts. It was just nothing really new to me besides the mind ships. That was interesting. Grigorovich, I liked that. I read only 2 chapters and voted this book as best sci-fi for Goodreads Choice Awards. So you're responsible for that. Fell in love with the book a few chapters into it. I knew, like in chapter 1, that I would hate this book. Because me and Kira, we were not liking each other. Okay. You know, I like ending these of actually looking at a 1-star review so I feel verified in my opinions. So, let's find a short ranty one. Ooh, I love reviews that have like lists, like little pinpoints. I'm actually thinking about starting a blog too, like for reviews too, and I'm just thinking about doing it all as like bullet points, short and simple, because that's the type of reviews I like. Anyways, dull and slow from the get-go. Science is generally pretty light unless it's going into pointlessly detailed explanations of something. Characters are annoying cardboard cutouts. Yes. Frustrating behavior. Plot is non-existent. Aliens are a friggin' parody. Tons of inconsistencies. Pointlessly long. Sigh. Who are you? Crystal, you're my best friend. I love you. Frustration Nation. Alright, number 2. The Devil Walks in Mattingly. Bill Coffey. No relation to actual coffee. 1 star. Oh my gosh. I'm guaranteeing that you've never heard of this book before. I just happened to find it one day at like a bargain outlet and it was like $1.99, so I picked it up. My voice is just cracking all over the place today. I don't know why, but let me just tell you, it's mystery, even though there's no mystery to solve, because our characters refuse to even try to solve it. It's not scary. The supernatural elements are barely in it. It's definitely a contemporary because our protagonist, who is the sheriff, just wants to sit around all day. It's not a thriller because there is no thrill. And I honestly don't remember how the murder mystery ended. It was a very boring book and just had the most pretentious, stuffy writing style ever. I hated it. Okay, 5 stars. Where you at? Oh, first one. Every character had their own distinct personality and really seemed to come alive as I read the story. Not just the MCs, but the supporting players also. And I think everyone can relate in some way to both Jake and Kate and their reasons for keeping secrets. The setting, a small town in the hollows of the Virginia mountains, was ideal. I thought it was just a really dirty town. In personality, no. Kate, she's the sheriff's wife. She feels like really repentant and sad about a thing that happened in high school. So she does good deeds in order to make up for that big event, and she never feels like it's enough. You know, I like that. But then we have to deal with this like really horny teenager who's like after this like 40-year-old man and stuff like that. And like, I'm Southern. I'm super Southern. And this book is nothing but Southern dialogue, and I couldn't even tell what they were saying half the time. I would recommend this book to readers that can appreciate a slower build-up in their books and the journey along the way. Oh, that build-up was so slow. With a little supernatural kick thrown in. The main grab, air quotes, about this book is that in the first chapter, our sheriff guy, he's haunted by a ghost. The ghost is like, hey, you're responsible for my death in high school. I'm gonna get you back one day. He only pops up 2 or 3 more times. Supernatural build up, no, it was barely in there. And that ghost guy was the only reason I was hanging on to this book. And no, it was not a good resolution to it. Literate. I automatically assume that all books are literate. Compelling. Poetic. Deep. This book was really trying to be poetic, but it was trying so hard. These characters are always well developed and written in a way that makes it hard to leave them behind when the story ends, and therefore they are as comforting as a favorite old sweater when you chance to meet them again. I had no emotional attachment to all these weirdos. The only one I liked was the ghost because he wanted to kill all of them. I was with him. I was on his side. He didn't do a thing. He failed me when I needed him the most. Give me a 1 star. I want to feel salty with someone else. Cindy, life's too short to read bad books. I love you. Bogged down with timeline issues. I don't actually agree with that. It was an okay timeline. The inciting incident that drives the entire story is not revealed until the end, and by that time it is nearly irrelevant. I think it's okay to have the inciting incident revealed at the end. It's just that when the incident was revealed, the thing that got our ghost guy killed, I was like, are you kidding me? Bro, you literally just have to let that go. Like, just brush it off. Hey look, there's me. Follow me on Goodreads bookcase. Okay, we've got our last one, and that is my old nemesis, Kafka on the freaking shore. Oh my gosh, that's disgusting. 4.13. I want negative scars. Not negative scars, although this book gave me like traumatic scars. I want negative stars. Kafka, you got a stupid face. Just stupid. I don't even know if that's really you, Kafka. I don't know, but just stupid. J. Kennedy, no, you can't like this book. I love you. This guy. Why is this book so loved? I mean, I didn't gain anything out of it. I'm not asking this as an insult. I genuinely want to know what the special thing about this book is. Oh my gosh, this guy. Let me put on a pretentious voice, because this is magical realism, so everything's pretentious. Well, I think you need to back up a bit in your reasoning. Why do you need to gain, per se, at all? Kafka on the Shore can't be fully understood because the author draws from many metaphysical sources. That plane of thinking is never clearly defined, but to get a better understanding of Kafka, you have to read 2 of his other books. Ew. No. Never. Furthermore, I don't think Murakami is popular for writing books that are telling, and that's the beauty of his writing. Just like Virginia Woolf wrote stories that have absolutely no plot, which was unheard of before her doing so. Much of the literature we read has something telling or something directly communicatable. Murakami creates, instead, a feeling that is tied to the environments of his characters. I will say one good thing about Murakami. Just one. He was very good at writing characters, and he was good at creating an atmosphere. Why does it feel like part of my brain just exploded? You don't always understand what is occurring in a this is coming together kind of way to point to a realization about the character or about life. But there is a sense that you get with each event that he constructs beautifully. And the last thing I have to say, and what I'm going to say goes well for most people's view of contemporary attitudes about most of the material we consume. Where the heck was I? You know, this guy's probably Murakami in disguise. And that is, we look and value stories by their content. Duh. This is my problem with magical realism. It literally takes forever to describe the most simplest thing. Books have content. Period. The end. Ship it off. I hate you. If you want to know why Murakami has gained acclaim, just looking at the bizarre events striking his novels, it is not enough. Murakami has gained acclaim also for his writing style, which is clever, crisp. He simply paints well with words. He does. I hate saying good things about him. And just as Marcus Bird has commented, many of the plot elements that make up his novels are difficult to pull off while not losing control of his story. Writers probably understand this better. Fancy British laughter. That has drained so much of me.
Hey, yo, it's the editor here. So past Casey was like really intensely focused on just like getting angry with this book and forgot to mention that next review is going to be all about spoilers about Kafka on the Shore. I don't think you should care because I don't think you should read Kafka on the Shore. But if you care about Kafka on the Shore spoilers, log off the video now because we about to dive in deep into the crap.
Okay, so this is why I don't like this book. Okay, I like this part. That part was fine. This not good. I loved Kafka at first, but then Kafka was so dedicated to doing this, I wanted to bop him. Like, straight up squeeze his head like a pimple. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be saying good stuff, or at least reading good stuff about this book. I really hate reviews that just, like, repeat the summary. Oh, and this part. We loved this part. We loved the philosophy major prostitute part. That was so amazing. I still don't get it, but it feels good. That's the whole idea. That's the whole book. I don't like this. Gosh, can't you just summarize what you like about it? Why you gotta write the whole thing? Kafka on the Shore is a metaphor. It follows no rules, it doesn't adhere to reason, and applicability is not an issue. It fills you up, it tears you down. A fugi. What the heck is this word? A fugi? Define fugi. Oh my gosh. A contrapuntal a state or period of loss of awareness of one's identity. Actually, I could use that in my book. That sounds like a good description. I'm gonna save that in my dictionary file. I like you, Junior Bagdalian. You use fancy words. It is something you have to experience for yourself. I cannot say or express how much I hate this book. You just need to read it yourself. The guy writes very well. I just don't like what he writes. It is correlated to love and memory, blah, blah, blah. Aside from love, time is why can't you just make a bullet point thing? That's it. I'm out of here. Give me a 1 star. Where's my haters? Vanessa, you beautiful woman. Come here. Give me a kiss. I love you. Masochist. Oh, that's me. My hatred and resentment of this book my hatred and resentment of this book progressively grew like a dead cow bloating in the heat. Nice imagery. Kafka on the Shore is a mess. It is such a mess that it makes my 6-year-old son's post-play date bedroom look like Buckingham Palace. Loosely based on the Oedipus myth, because we want the mama. And taking some obvious inspiration from Catcher in the Rye, which I've never read, but want to, because I've heard it's the book that inspired serial killers. So I'm intrigued. This book seems to be little more than a random hodgepodge of ideas held together with pipe cleaners and raspberry jam. Vanessa, this girl, she knows what she speaks about. I like her. There, yes, a list. Thank you. Thank you. There is so much to hate about this book. Boring, unnecessary descriptions. This is literally pretty accurate. When I wipe my booty, I like to use just 4 squares of toilet paper. No more, no less. I count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I fold the length once over and a grin. Equipped now with a perfect handheld quilt, I wipe in a single expert sweeping motion front to back. Examine the paper to determine whether I need to repeat the process. However, I would add that this is only if the paper is 2-ply. For 1-ply paper, I need a minimum of 8 sheets, but only if they are of high quality. If not of high quality, the boy Crow reminds me, remember, you have to be the toughest 15-year-old on the planet. Oh my gosh. Crow is honestly a few of the only things I loved about that book. His little thing kind of let me down because I did not understand what he was, but that whole toilet paper thing is really accurate to what's going on in the book. The gratuitous cat torture scene. Johnny Walker. I actually love that scene. It caught me by surprise. So at this point, this is like 150 pages in, I think, at this cat torture scene. And at this point, the book was still a 5 stars to me. But as soon as the cat torture scene ended, that's when the whole book went downhill. So to me, the cat torture scene was the last good thing about Kafka on the Shore. The annoying Wei characters? I don't know what a Wei character is. Oshima. I liked Oshima. Oshima was dope. Although, yeah. Magical realism. Look at me. Aren't I clever? Literally what it's about. I actually really like that scene because I think Oshima put them in their place. Hate to be ungroovy or whatever, but I couldn't stand any of the scenes, particularly with yeah. Vanessa is literally me, people. After the first 100 pages, I thought that I might end up giving this book 3 stars. Then another 100 pages, I decided on 2 stars. By page 300, it was 1 star. It literally just kept going down and down to the pits of hell. In truth, love or loathing of a book is entirely subjective, and scores of critics love this one. As for me, I feel that if I wanted to find meaning in a jumble of junk, I would have had more luck going to a thrift store and sifting through the bric-a-brac box than wasting time on Mr. Murakami's brain omelet. We're just gonna like that one. I look forward to never having to read Kafka on the Shore ever again. Or maybe I should read it again and just write notes in the book, then have a giveaway. Then one of you people can get the book. Then you can read it and just see my angry red marker all throughout the book. I actually like this idea. I'll make it happen. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. This was really cathartic, and I'm excited to see what I'm going to yell about next year. So until then, stay ready, my friends, and tell me real quick, what's the book you hate that you can't believe people actually love? Okay, bye-bye.